I want to have a quick conversation with you about Aura versus Incogni versus Optery. Of course, we are speaking about identity theft protection, and so we want to review and compare and contrast those three players. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. Let me first start with Aura. When you think about Aura, I want you to think about all-around protection. You have a customizable service, and you also have excellent customer support. And so when we talk about all-around protection, Aura's all-inclusive plans provide identity, personal information, credit, and device protection all in one. So you have this holistic approach here that we love a lot. I mean, it's not cheap though. I'll speak about price later on, but it's not really cheap. And we also love the fact that Aura is customizable because Aura's identity protection can be tailored to the user. For example, if you are a parent, you're listening to me right now, the family plans can actually provide access to parental control software so you can better protect your children from identity theft. You also have customer support, so Aura can be reached via phone and live chat 24/7 for any concerns about billing, accounts, and identity restoration. Now, there are a few things we don't like with Aura, so there are no cheaper options, and also the apps are very difficult to navigate. Let me break it down for you. So basically, Aura offers lots of features, right? Especially in the digital security space, and its services include a VPN, antivirus software, parental control software, and more. And some of those require different apps, making Aura, in our view, harder to manage than other identity protection services. And because of that, there are no cheaper options because since Aura plans are all inclusive, there are no cheaper options for those looking for just identity or credit protection. But bottom line is that Aura is a top-notch service that provides protection for multiple vulnerable areas, including identity, credit, and digital. It's actually a feature-rich service that offers affordable, all-inclusive subscriptions, but that can make it a bit harder to navigate and learn to use, especially if you are new to identity protection services. By the way, Aura also helps you helps you to remove your name from data brokers, so your identity online can be better protected. In terms of Aura identity theft protections features, you have protection of personal information, protection from credit fraud, protection from digital threats. So that's kind of cool. And you have credit and fraud protection. You have device and network protection also. So those are really great in terms of Aura. You also have parental controls. So again, here you have a pretty comprehensive product. And in terms of leaks, Aura looks for new account records, the internet, sites on the dark web, public records, and also data broker list. That's how they actually can control your data. Now let's talk about the Aura experience. So basically, we like services that offer a good user experience, especially identity protection services. They are pretty much set and forget, but from time to time you need to update information or manage alerts. So to do that conveniently, you want to have a dashboard that's very easy to use. So Aura, and that was really a welcome experience for us. Aura offers a clean desktop dashboard where you can manage your alerts, credit score updates, transactions, identity monitoring, watch list, antivirus protection, and VPN. So you have an all-in-one service. Okay. So the Aura dashboard, you have credit card and debit cards, birthday, driver's license number, email address, financial account numbers, health insurance IDs, address, passport numbers, phone numbers, social security number, state ID number, and loyalty card. So you have a lot of flexibility. In terms of the Aura app, you have a great app here, but like I told you before, basically you might need to have several Aura app. Okay. Well, through the app, it's very easy to set up your financial accounts. That's for sure. Okay, so you can actually, as you can see on the screen, you can actually connect your bank account. So that's actually the first step. So to actually set everything up, you need to connect your bank account. So you can see this on the screen. This is the Aura app, and the next one I'll share with you here. You can actually connect your bank account. This is actually the second step here. So you have to go a little more granular. Okay. And step number 3, you can see on the screen here that you can actually set alert thresholds. So you can see which level you want Aura to look at before contacting you. The fourth screenshot, you have the Aura Wi-Fi security. So that's kind of cool. And in terms of Aura privacy, as you can see on the screen here, you can see a screenshot of Aura privacy policy. So by the way, you feel free to actually pause the video to actually read or watch more, okay? And so that's really good. I wanted to show you a little bit about the pricing here. And you can see that Aura is not cheap. So here are the pricing. Here is the pricing for Aura, the family, the couple, the individual, and you also have a pricing for couples. So you can see that Aura is definitely not cheap. So bottom line is, if you're interested in Aura, you want to consider Aura. If you're looking for an all-in-one identity theft protection that monitors a number of data sources and transactions, you want identity theft insurance that covers you up to $1 million for eligible losses. If you value antivirus and a VPN at home and on the go, if you like to add up to 5 adult members to your plan, and if you're looking for a password manager, VPN, antivirus, and parental control features. So let's talk about Incogni. So when we talk about Incogni, what should you be thinking about? First of all, the full name of Incogni is Surfshark Incogni. So Incogni acts as your privacy proxy, periodically sending official data removal requests to dozens of personal information brokers and reporting their responses, okay? And they charge you about $75 to $125 a year. So what are the pros and cons here? When we think about Incogni, we love the fact that you have a service that finds personal data on people search sites, sends official removal requests to data brokers in your name, track responses from brokers, repeats removal requests as needed, and it's relatively inexpensive. Okay, so we love that. So what about the drawbacks here? Well, Incogni doesn't report details of personal data it finds. I mean, it would have been nice if the service were a little more comprehensive. Okay, but the cool thing we love about Incogni is that they do the job for you, and basically everything is automated. So think of Incogni as a personal data removal service from the well-known VPN and security vendor Surfshark. And here is a service that automates the process of sending those removal requests and repeats it as necessary to keep your profile off the market. Now that it handles popular people search sites, it is a useful service, especially for those already using other Surfshark products. Now, how much does Incogni cost? You can see this on the screen. They're charging you $7.49 per month, or if you accept annual billing, this will basically will save you a little bit of cash. So at $89.88, so that's like a $90 a year, and so that's for the annual plan. So you have 50% off. Think about it. Instead of being charged $179, they're charging you $89.88. But if you go for the monthly plan, they're charging you $15 per month. Okay, this is something to really think about. But long story short, you have a tool that's relatively well priced for the work they're doing. That they're really well priced in our view. And let me talk to you about how to get started with Incogni. So onboarding with Incogni is very easy. You create an account with your email and the password. After responding to a verification email, you actually enter your full name and the address, which Incogni points out is necessary for data removal requests. Then you grant Incogni a very limited power of attorney to make those requests in your name. You want to choose a monthly or annual plan, and you are ready to go. Okay, pretty straightforward. And so you interact with Incogni through a simple online dashboard. And so right after sign up, you will see the number of brokers Incogni works with. Currently more than 180 to 200, and the number slated to receive removal requests. And for people search sites, it selects those that actually have your data. And for other types of brokers, Incogni uses an internal algorithm to decide which are likely to have your data, and immediately starts a process of requesting removal. And so that's kind of cool. And so once you actually have reached this step, you might as well put Incogni on the back burner for a while. As the company points out, brokers legally have from 30 to 45 days to respond, and some of them use the whole time. So during the process, you may receive emails from some of the brokers, though most email responses go straight to Surfshark. And so that's kind of important. And as you can see on the screen here, you can see that Incogni does check for your personal data on people's search sites before requesting removal. It doesn't list just what types of data were found, but it verifies removal. And this is kind of cool. And Incogni actually adds people's search, so that's really fantastic. Now, one thing I want to say here is that when we think about Incogni, I want you to be really, really patient. Okay, the process of getting your data removed can be really slow. So after installing the products, asking questions, and writing most of your, let's say, contacting Incogni, you really want to put Incogni on the side. Okay. As you can see on the screen here, Incogni is constantly telling you exactly the progress of its search, what's working, what's not working. Okay, but Incogni, that's one thing we love a lot. It does what it promises to do. Incogni basically acts as your proxy, sending data removal requests to people's search sites that have your data and to brokers that are likely to have your data. So for people's search sites, it verifies removal, while for other brokers, it reports the process complete when the broker replies either that it had removed your data or that no such data was present. Okay, and so this is something to really think about. Now, some competitors offer the opportunity to empirically confirm removal, meaning you can see your data was present and that it's not anymore, which we appreciate. However, Incogni's acceptance of each broker's assurance that your data is gone is kind of reasonable. I mean, given the consequences for malfeasance. So something to really think about. I want to talk to you now about Optery. So Optery is the third player into this conversation. So again, we are still having a conversation about Aura versus Incogni versus Optery. So when you think about Optery, I want you to think about a service that scrubs your personal information from data broker sites or gives you tools to clean it up yourself for free. And this is uniquely detailed. You have a uniquely detailed set of reporting that confirms that your info was removed. And so that's kind of cool. What are the pros and cons here? The pros, basically, Optery finds and removes personal data from hundreds of brokers. There's a free tier that offers detailed DIY data removal steps. The service links directly to found personal data. It provides detailed verification of removals, and you have a top tier plan that offers custom removals. What about the cons here? Well, there is no direct link to found data for every broker site, okay? But you have about more than 200 to 300 removals automated. There is a free version available, and you also have custom removal requests. So that's kind of cool, okay? And what we love about Optery is that Optery handles more brokers than many other personal data removal services. Gives you more detail about found profiles than the competition, and even makes a free version available with practical DIY opt-out instructions. So that's kind of fantastic. Now, how much does Optery cost? I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is the pricing as of the date of this show. So you are looking at the free, going all the way to the ultimate. So, and by the way, the prices I'm showing you here, those are prices for monthly billing. If you want to go with annual billing, I want you to really click right now. By the way, no, this is actually the annual billing. The second screenshot I'm showing you right now, this is actually the annual billing. So that's kind of so what you have to see. So you also have a pricing for individuals and also pricing for businesses. So that's really good in terms of flexibility. We love that a lot. Okay. And one thing I want to say is that it's always better to contact Optery for more information before you make any decisions. That way you have a clear idea about the plan that you're taking is actually the plan that is good for your specific cases. So let's talk about getting started with free Optery Basic. I mean, so basically Optery, anybody can sign up for Optery at no charge and with no requirement to enter credit card details. It's just plain free at the lowest service level. You start by entering your first and last name, email address, and password. And Optery also requires your city and state of residence as well as your birth year. And so the entry page notes that without at least this much detail, Optery can distinguish you from others with a similar name. And your full birth date and middle name are not required, but entering those is recommended. Okay, so you can see on the screen here, this is basically what it basically looks like. And so basically the dashboard summary at the top doesn't have a lot of information for free users, and data brokers covered isn't going to change from zero, nor is the number of total data brokers. So Optery will now remove data from you at this tier. So Optery waits half an hour before launching its exposure scan. So you have time to enter additional profile information such as physical addresses and additional email accounts and phone numbers. So that's something to really think about. You can see this on the screen. So basically here on the screen that I'm showing you right now, Optery says that their public records search has produced two results for basically for the individual for Neil here. Okay, so something to really think about. And what I want to show you also next on the screen is that this is basically again, we are speaking here about the dashboard for the free basic account. So that's something to you can see that you don't have a lot of granularity. I want to show you also another piece of information here. So basically, Optery is going, I would say, more and more granular in terms of giving you a lot of information. Now, you can't really have way more information if you don't pay for stuff, right? So Optery's real strength, in our view, becomes apparent when it finishes its initial exposure assessment and supplies you with an exposure report. So you can see where your data is located and who is actually handling your data. And this is important. It's important to really have a clear idea what's really happening here, okay? And so what are the benefits of a paid Optery account? Well, unless you choose the very top tier, Ultimate, you may still wind up sending and tracking some opt-out requests manually. So however, even at the lowest cost paid tier, Optery handles opting out from the most common and active brokers. It's actually smart. If you want to play this well, it's smart to start with a free account to get a feel for the system. And what happens here is that you will see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And when you're ready, just upgrade to a paid account. And so once you do that, one of Optery's privacy agents will review the findings for false positives and false negatives. And they will certainly let you know what's really happening with your account. So that's really good in terms of better security and better stability. So that's really good. And one thing I want to really show you also is that as you can see on the screen here, Optery is showing you an exposed profile report. So you have a clear idea where your data is exposed. And you can protect your private data with Optery. That's really fantastic because they have a MFA and 2FA. So we're speaking here about multi-factor authentication and two-factor authentication. And you also have a custom removals with Optery. So that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility. We love that a lot. Okay, so Optery offers a very detailed explanation of custom removals and what they are and are not and what results you might expect. So you have a clear idea of what happens. Okay, and so at the end of the day, Optery also handles a lot of data brokers, giving you flexibility across your journey, across your data removal journey. So that's really fantastic. So what are our considerations here? So Aura versus Incogni versus Optery. Which one should you go for? Which service should you go for? But before I answer the question, let me really explain to you, when we speak about data removal services, it's important to really understand that there are two main types of sites that collect your personal data. So you have people search sites, and you also have data brokers. And data brokers scrape your personal data across the web, package it into a profile, and sell it to anyone buying. Mostly, there are customers or advertisers who use your info for targeted browser ads, email spam, or even snail mail campaigns. But shady characters prepping for identity theft can also purchase these profiles. And however, people search sites, build themselves as friendly, helpful services. They'll reconnect you with the old friends or even background check a potential date. What's wrong with that? But see, the whole thing is that it's not always straightforward, okay? And you got to really ask yourself, that you have more than 1,000 data brokers that may have your personal data. So your personal data is no longer safe on the internet. That's one thing for sure. So that's why you have in the last 5 years, 5 to 10 years, especially during COVID, you have a resurgence of data removal services, and they charge anywhere from $15 to $75 to even $125 per year. Okay, and years ago, Delete Me, one competitor to Optery, Incogni, and Aura, they seem expensive, justifying the $129 yearly fee based on the need for human intervention in many removals. But right now, you have a lot of players that are doing this automatically. Now you can do your personal data removal yourself for free. That's for sure. But it's just a matter of time, commitment, the time of consistency too. I mean, if you have that time, go ahead and do it yourself. If not, just it might be better to actually give that task to a third party to do it for you. So what's our pick here? So Aura versus Incogni versus Optery. Which one should you go for? Our choice is very simple. If you're looking for pure data removal services, go with Optery. Optery gives you a free version. You can try it yourself, and then if you're happy, just go to the paid version. If you're looking for an all-in-one service, like you're looking for more than data removal, go with Aura. Aura is the best. Now, Incogni is somewhere in the middle, but their service is not really that impressive. We prefer Optery for pure data removal and Aura for holistic approach and all-in-one service. So here's the bottom line to this conversation. I spoke to you about Aura versus Incogni versus Optery. I gave you the review. I gave you the general considerations, and now the pick, and finally the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.